Hello! It's Susan from Sassy C Art Shop. You guys ready to do some art with me? Let's get to it! Hello! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan from Sassy C Art Shop, and what I do is I create art prints and stickers each month and sometimes other products, and I always share them, the process of creating them and the story behind them and things like that. So just for you guys to be aware, this that I'm coloring right now is my art print for the month of July, and she will be available in my shop along with some stickers that kind of represent this same theme. So that'll be linked down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to see more art fun. Okay, so let's get into this drawing process. Woo! All right, so for July, it's definitely like midsummer. It's hot. A lot of people take vacations, go to the beach. So I definitely wanted to incorporate that into my theme for my print. So I ended up coming up with a character. Her name is Julie Sands. I always like to give my characters either like a fun little name or a name that means something that kind of like goes along with the drawing. I just think that's a little fun, and I just like doing that. So Julie, because it sounds like July, like, some month names are okay, like June or May, but I don't think I've ever met a July personally. I don't know though, but yeah, so I named her Julie for the first name, and then Sands because she is laying on the beach, so I thought Julie Sands would just be perfect for her. So let me tell you a little bit about Julie's character. So like I said, her name is Julie Sands, and as you can see, I'm coloring her lounging on the beach. She's kind of like a beach babe kind of thing, and she loves going to the beach every single summer. She's always one of those people who get like, that sun kiss glow and then that gorgeous tan afterward. Like, she does not burn. Clearly, this is a fantasy from my brain because I most definitely do. So my character is the one who's not going to get burned if she goes in the sun. But, she loves sitting under her umbrella, working on her tan, sipping a bunch of like delicious drinks with the cute little umbrellas in them. And then for like her outfit, I definitely wanted her to have like a cute vintage vibe, because I think like the 40s, 50s swimsuits were like super cute, and like they were super flattering, and they had all these cute little patterns, and like, I don't know, today's swimsuits are just like, string bikinis, and I'm like, not a huge fan of those personally. So yeah, she definitely loves looking her best. She likes attracting a little bit of attention, when others can see her at the beach, but she does it more because she just really likes the style. So I ended up giving her a really cute two-piece that's based on a vintage like 1950s swimsuit that I saw on Pinterest. So it's kind of got like a bikini top, but it goes a little lower, it cuts underneath her chest, so it's on her waist some, and then it's got like a little, I guess you wouldn't call it a collar, but it has like little flaps at the top that I think is cute, and it ties into a bow at the top. And then the bottom part of the swimsuit is high-waisted, so you only see about like 2 inches of her skin. You can't super see it well in this picture that I'm drawing because she's kind of got her arm in front of her stomach, but it is a two-piece. And then I went with like a really cute plaid pattern, just because I thought it looked really cute, and I didn't want it to be plain and boring, and I saw that those plaid patterns were like super popular in the 50s and stuff, so I thought that would help her vintage vibe, And of course, like if you're going to the beach, I just feel like you gotta have one of those big floppy hats, and like there's big floppy hats that you wear to the beach, and then there's the super stylish big floppy hats that, like, you know, iconic women wore, and, you know, they always looked amazing, and it was like always dipped over one eye, you know, strategically dipped below one eye, and you know how it goes. Anyway, and then I thought a cute little detail would be to have her wearing sunshades, but I made them like in the shape of hearts, because I just thought that would be super fun. Anyway, so right now, as you can see, I've been working on the background for a while. I did the sketch off screen, and so I started with the line art, just because I make a lot of mistakes in the sketch phase, and I don't want y'all seeing me erase and, you know, redo it and 1,000 times. So I normally just start with the line art of these. Yeah, the only thing I did differently in the line art, most of it's like the black with the thicker outline around the character and the boxes, is in her name with Julie Sands, I put like a little sun above the dot of the eye, just because I thought it would be cute. But yeah, so I'm coloring the background elements right now, and for all my coloring, I did use my my Ohuhu alcohol markers. I'm not sponsored by them, I just like them. I think they blend really well. I like the color selection. I have the 320 set because I know some people are like, well, if you have a smaller set, you can just blend the colors you want and figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, but if I just have a larger set, it's like, but I can then just pick the color I want. I don't have, like, there's not work involved, and I'm all for that personally. Yeah, so I used the markers for the entire picture. I think I did, I can't remember for sure, but I think I did use like a little bit of colored pencil at the end, just to like add in a few details or like soften. I think maybe I did it on the skin later on, but I can't remember for sure. So because I'm doing a voiceover a little after I colored this, and I'm like, I don't remember anything about this. So you'll just have to take my word for it. But yeah, so I wanted her like laid out on the beach. She's like under the umbrella. I feel like the umbrella is a little small compared to her, but I wanted it in the frame of the picture. So that's why I made it a little smaller. But as I said, she's like one of those people who is always getting gorgeously tanned after a day at the beach. So I'm not worried if she gets a little sun exposure. Yeah, so, and then she's got her drink and like the beach ball and the sand castle, just because I thought it would be fun to add those elements in, make it feel very beach-like, you know, and some of these things will appear as the stickers, which keep an eye out for that. Next week I'll show you how I created the stickers, but you can buy them now from my shop, and that'll be linked in the description below. So if you're liking this, or you're like, ooh, I want some beach stickers, definitely check that out. I really love how the water for this piece turned out. I layered a few different blues, and I just like the closer to her it's lighter, and then the farther away it's a bit darker, and then added like some white gel pen over it to add like those little white highlights. And then I did like the foamy part of the water that comes onto the sand with like a really pale blue, and like I took a white gel pen and kind of just did like swirly motions over it to do that. And yeah, I really like how it turned out. So now, as you can see, I am coloring the skin, and like I said, I did want to be like, oh, she's someone who can easily get tanned and, you know, spends her time at the beach laying out, you know, kind of thing. Like, she'll go in the water, but she's definitely there to like lay on the beach and tan and you know, drink a delicious drink and read a book and, you know, build a sandcastle maybe. So I started with some lighter colors, but I kind of like imagined her in this scene as being like, this is the first time she's going to the beach, like for the summer. It's the first time that it's open, kind of thing, which I think it's a lot of fun because, you know, she's like, oh, I've been inside too long because the beaches haven't been open, and it's, you know, my skin has gotten a little paler over the winter. But yeah, so I use several different colors in the skin to give it kind of like a pale and then sort of like a rosy, like she's getting that little bit of sun-kissed look kind of thing. And I did play with the shadowing quite a bit in this piece, which is not one of my strong points. I'm like, I should study light and shading a bit more, because I understand it to an extent, but I also get confused if there's like multiple light sources or multiple shadow sources. But I did want to try and cast her more in shadow where the umbrella would hit, and an even deeper shadow where the like brim of her little floppy hat would hit, because I wanted it to like convey the effect that, you know, there is shadowing going on here, and she is, you know, being shaded by the umbrella and the hat. So yeah, I tried to do that, and I don't know how well it turned out, but I was pretty happy with the final result, honestly, after I had done everything. So yeah, I was pretty happy with it. And I gave her like a really bright red lipstick just because I thought that would be super fun. And I end up creating, like, her outfit is red too, just because I thought it would look really well with the colors that I already had in the piece without like blending in too much with anything that I had. And I just thought it would look really cute. Yeah, but so when I was coloring the skin, like I said, I was trying to play with the shading a bit more. So I was adding like some darker grays and then going over it with the skin tone color, like the base color that I used. And I didn't know how I liked it at first, if it was turning out right. But I was like, oh, is this too dark? Is this not what I want? But I'm very happy with the final result, honestly. So for her hair, I wanted to kind of give her like darker hair, but with like sort of caramel highlights. So I started with like more of a yellow blonde tone, and then kind of built up the colors from there, going darker and darker. And just because like how it's so small, I feel like you lose a lot of the like caramel colored highlights, which is what I was kind of going for. So by the end, she looks more brunette than like having the you know, caramel mixed into it with the coloring. But I think it's okay. I still like how it turned out. I still think it's pretty. What do you guys think? Do you like how this hair turned out? If you have any tips or suggestions for, you know, adding more highlights to my colors, I'm happy to hear them. I may not always apply the suggestions because sometimes I'm stubborn, but yeah, I like hearing new things and trying to incorporate new things when I can. So yeah, definitely let me know. Anyway, but yeah, and I gave her kind of like wavy curly hair because I kind of wanted those like beachy waves going on. So that's what I did for her. And I also thought it like looked good with the hat and the swimsuit. I thought it went along well with that. So now I am coloring the hat, and I debated for a while what color I wanted the hat, because I knew that I wanted like the bow on it that wraps around like the head and comes around the back. I wanted that to be red to match her outfit. But I didn't know if I wanted the hat to be white or black or tan, or, you know, like a darker red or a lighter red than the one I was going to use on the swimsuit. So it took me a while to decide that, but I asked my sister, and she's like, you know, when I think of those hats, I always think of like a straw hat. So try and make it kind of a straw color. So that's what I ended up going with. And then, like I said, the red for like the bow and the rim around the hat. And I'm really glad I did this. And I added some shading to like the far side of the hat where it would be hitting underneath the umbrella, so that like those colors would be darker and in the shade too. So I quite like the effect. I think it turned out really pretty. I gave her the little red sunglasses, red heart sunglasses. And I kind of created a straw texture with my white gel pen. You can't see it super well here, But yeah, I kind of added more of like the texture with the white gel pen, and I'm glad I did that. Okay, so now I'm moving on to, like I said, coloring the outfit, and I did want it to match the hat, because like I said, I had already decided that I wanted it red. So I ended up creating like because the bottom of the swimsuit, it has like 3 panels. So like the sides are the plaid, which the top matches, and then it has like a solid panel as well. And I definitely wanted it to be oh, my camera's going crazy apparently. I don't remember what was happening here. I think I hit my camera. Yeah, so I apologize for that. Yeah, I think what it was is that I hit my camera and I was trying to steady it to make sure it was still in frame and stuff. Yeah, so I apologize that it just went with woo, woo, woo. That was crazy. But yeah, so I did the red first, and like I said, the bottom panel has that solid color, which I did, and then the top, the little straps, and like the little top part where it opens and becomes a bow is the solid red. And then the rest I did a plaid pattern. I was really proud of how this plaid pattern turned out, because I've drawn plaid before, but my mind sometimes it like jumps or gets confused or like colors the wrong one. So I was like really careful about how I was going about and coloring the plaid and making sure it actually followed the pattern of the like plaid that I was looking at on Pinterest, using a darker red to fill in certain squares, and leaving the others the plain bright red, and I think that worked really, really well. And I'm super proud of how this little swimsuit turned out. I think I would wear this swimsuit maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure I could pull it off. I don't have as nice a figure as she does, but I think it's really cute. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I want to know what you guys think. Do you like this outfit? Would you go to the beach in this? Yeah, let me know. So right now I am finishing up the coloring by coloring the words, and I wanted it to kind of look like sand surrounded by the ocean. So I picked up the colors that I had used for the sand in the drawing, and did that for her name. And then I did, instead of like multiple blues around it, I think I end up just using like one blue for the surrounding. Like I said, I wanted it to kind of look like the water surrounding the sand. I'm not really sure it gave off that effect when it was done, but honestly, to me, the name is like the least important part. I think it's fun to identify your character and give them a name and a backstory, but like overall, like that's like not the most important part of the picture, in my opinion. So yeah, I think I end up just using this like light blue and maybe a little bit more shading, but yeah, just to finish it off. And I think I used like a little white gel pen to like add a few details in. I always like adding those details with white gel pen. You know, I was resistant to buying one for years, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to get one. I don't need it and whatever. And then I got one and I'm like, you know what? I don't know how I was ever doing art without this beforehand, honestly. So if you're debating getting a white gel pen, just do it, because you know, it's really great for adding those highlights and those last little details and like shine, and yeah, it's great. I love it. Anyway, like I said, if you guys are interested in getting a print of this, it is available in my shop until July 31st. And it comes in 3 sizes, so 5x7, 6x8, and 8x10 inches. Those are the sizes. And I get my prints professionally printed from a third service provider, and they always come out really beautiful. The colors are very accurate to what I want. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, be sure to check out my shop, and the link's in the description below. All right, so I forgot to do the tape peel on this, but I will let you guys see the print one last time and let y'all just finish off and see this. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you thought in the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I showed, because I didn't do the tape peel, I think I showed a few close-ups of the shots. That's what I did first. But
you guys are still here? Well, thanks so much for watching. To support my channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you want anything from the shop, the link's always in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and next time, don't forget, you're going to get to see my highlights of my artistic journey, as well as my foibles, because there will be some. All right, bye!